How Love Wins. The Power of Mindful Kindness by Doug Carnine, voiced by Bary Shaw. How Love Wins. The Power of Mindful Kindness by Doug Carnine. Preface. Both mindfulness and compassion are vital to the process of growth and transformation. But while mindfulness is the servant of the awaking heart of compassion, it is the force of compassionate motivations that reorganizes the mind and sets in motion lasting change. Paul Gilbert and Choden, Mindful Compassion. There isn't time so brief as life, for bickerings, apologies, heartburnings, callings to account. There is only time for loving, and but an instant, so to speak, for that. Mark Twain. It's the responsibility of each and every one of us to make our society more humane and more just. Above all, let us dare to be tender. Belgian King Philippe, on the anniversary of the 2016 Brussels airport bombing. When I was 19, the love of my life dumped me. For a few months, I was a miserable sophomore at the University of Illinois, consumed and upset by feelings of dejection, jealousy, anger, and resentment. I recycled the same hopeless thoughts over and over in my mind. How can I get her back? I can't survive without her. Should I make the 4-hour drive to beg her in person? These thoughts and feelings were constantly on my mind, whether I was washing my hands, brushing my teeth, eating breakfast, walking to class, or waiting to cross the street. I was miserable, desperate for relief. Fortunately, a good friend happened to be reading The Essentials of Zen Buddhism by D.T. Suzuki. I was intrigued by what he told me about the book, and I began to hope that Zen could help me feel better. I didn't yet know anything about Buddhism or meditation, but I understood enough to realize that most of my unhappiness was coming from my own negative thoughts and feelings. And while I knew I couldn't make my girlfriend take me back, I thought maybe this Zen thing could help me take control of my own feelings. 2 years later, I was engaged in a regular meditation and mindfulness practice. Only gradually did I begin to see just how much of my own unhappiness, and some of the unhappiness I caused others, came from my own unkind habits, like anger. But at this time, I did not believe I could change those habits. My self-centered ways of thinking, feeling, and acting kept me from realizing the harm they were causing. Over the next few years, I gradually began to soften some of my unkind habits. For example, greatly reducing the heat of my anger. It was only much later in life that I realized how deeply I wanted to change. I volunteered at a hospice center and became a meditation and spiritual mentor to men in prison for violent crimes. Through these experiences, I became aware of the tremendous power of kindness. As I kept studying, practicing, and reading medical, anthropological, and social science research on meditation, mindfulness, and kindness, I became convinced that all of us are capable of changing our unkind habits and building kind ones. This book is about how you can make those changes. I hope that my more than 40 years of experience as both a professor of education and as a student and practitioner of Buddhism have helped me to write a book that will be helpful to readers of all levels. Although I myself am a practicing Buddhist, I wrote this book for readers who are interested in meditation and kindness, but who are not looking for religious instruction.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?